Hey friends, my name is Michael, and I'm a former consultant with BCG, now based in New York City. Today, I wanted to share the top four most common mistakes in the case interview process and how to avoid them. After I graduated in 2018, I've helped students run over 40 plus case interviews and land offers with firms including Deloitte, McKinsey, and EY Parthenon. Today, I will share the most common mistakes that I've seen throughout the case interview process and that students I've worked with have shared with me. The most common mistake that I see is misunderstanding the purpose of a case interview. Students often assume that the purpose of a case interview is to get every single mental math question right or give a perfect business answer and presentation. However, that's not true. The true purpose of a case interview is to test a candidate's fit for consulting by evaluating their thought process and problem-solving abilities over a 30 to 40-minute simulation of a consulting project. Specifically, the interviews help evaluate your ability to solve problems using a structured approach and clearly communicate your ideas and thought process to others throughout the case. A case interview also helps indirectly test your ability to work well in teams and handle high pressure and ambiguous situations well. There is often a misconception that there is only one right answer during a case interview and that your answers have to be perfect. However, what really matters most is your ability to structure your thoughts, clearly communicate your thinking and the why behind your proposals to your interviewers, and just be really confident and excited to solve the problems at hand. The second most common mistake that I see throughout the case interview process is not explaining the why behind your recommendations. For example, I see students often calculating numbers in interviews and stopping as soon as they feel that they get the number right. Although it's great to get the answer right, that's not enough to get a consulting offer. What really matters is your ability to explain your thought process behind every recommendation and key insight that you find. For example, let's say you find that the revenue projections for your client is $10 million in 2022. Once you get that number, you shouldn't stop there. You should also take the initiative to walk your interviewer through why you feel that $10 million number is important, how it ties to the client question at hand, and why you feel it is too high, too low, or just right for the client case. Going broader, anytime you give a recommendation or any type of summary, you should always give 2 or 3 concrete reasons that help explain your thought process and rationale to the interviewer so they can clearly track how you are thinking. This will be a great way to ensure that you're set up for success throughout the interview process. The third mistake that I see is students getting overly embarrassed after making a mistake during the case interview. I often see students make oftentimes very minor mistakes in interviews, overly apologize, and then lose their confidence throughout the rest of the interview. However, it is totally okay to make a mistake, and interviewers never expect you to be perfect. If you ever make a mistake during a case interview, you should just thank the interviewer for pointing it out, move on with the interview as if nothing had happened, and just take a deep breath and know that everything will be okay. To help illustrate with a real example, let's say during the case interview, you make a mental math mistake. Instead of apologizing over and over and over again, you can just say, thanks so much for pointing it out. Let me take a minute to collect my thoughts, rerun the numbers, and walk you through what I feel the key takeaways are for our client today. The last mistake that I see students make a lot is not practicing enough with their friends or peers throughout the case interview prep process. Students often assume that you can be fully prepared for case interviews by reading case books, practicing mental math, and just studying really hard alone. However, this is a huge misconception, and you can never get good at casing without also practicing with others. When I was in college, I also regularly took the initiative to practice with friends and my classmates from different majors just to make sure that I could get challenged, that I had a good group of people that could show me different ways to think, and that I had a pool of people to just learn from and incorporate best practices into my own case style. One tip that I wish I knew earlier was that it is just as helpful to be an interviewer and give interviews for your friends as it is to receive them. By being an interviewer for your friends or for your peers, It's a great opportunity for you to see what works and what doesn't work, get an opportunity to watch a full case live from start to finish, and then incorporate any key takeaways or best practices from your peers into your own case style. In conclusion, these are the top 4 most common mistakes that I see in the case consulting interview process. If you like this type of consulting content, please feel free to like and subscribe. If you have any other type of questions, please feel free to comment below, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks so much for your time.